Participated fully in that game, I would have been out, which is quite amusing really. T's, P's, things like that, they really focus on trying to pronounce every single one. Yeah, I drop mine, as you can tell, all of the time.
What the wolf didn't know that he was actually seeing the wolf's daughter. And yeah, and all the time that his mother thought he was out playing, well, we know what playing he was doing. So, do you want to tell us more about it, Deepa?
The complaints about India often land back in Norwich.
Now, obviously, we're not going to turn around to you and say we gave you...
Top sales advisor Neil Marsham gets his fair share of angry customers.
You'd get a phone call come through and go, I've tried 8 times to speak to someone, and every time it was an Indian person answered, so I hung up. I mean, what can you do about that? And then they're moaning to you that they've had to wait half an hour to get through to an English person. I had a bloke ring me up who just basically said, hello, are you English? And I said, yes, sir, I am. He said, oh, good, because I don't want to be put through to India to speak to no fucking Paki. And it was like, well, very much doubt you'll speak to anyone from Pakistan in India, to be honest, but just, you know, couldn't really, what do you say, you know?
Now we're going to get really strict, okay? One small mistake and you're out.
You put a pin on the chair.
Out, it's pin. Deepa.
Okay, he forgot the whole idea of putting a pin in the chair of...
Okay,
Pin.
out. No, you're not aspirating. Pin.
Okay.
Just say pin.
Pin.
Okay, paper.
Paper.
Pencil.
Pencil.
Okay.
So he went to the forest.
A lot of times our trainees say, why do I need to sound British? Why can't I sound the way I do? I'm an Indian and this is my accent and I want to sound like this. I don't want to pick up another accent, especially of another country. I don't want to lose my identity. But what we tell them is our main focus or our target is customer experience. So we want to eradicate absolutely any chances of the customer not being comfortable, which is why we say that, you know, you need to enhance your accents to their accents and just to be a great customer service agent.
They seem to be very focused on getting it just right. And they're probably the only ones who'll be speaking the Queen's English.
Linda, actually, it would really help us if you can tell us about a few accents. Can you recognize the difference and sort of tell us how different it is?
The Scottish people, theirs is a very harsh accent.
Okay.
Oh, how are you doing today? In Sheffield, they'd say, hey up. I'd say, I'm just going to the shop. They'd say, just going to the shop. Newcastle accent is a strong accent. Why, aye, man. It's the best that gets, I'm afraid. The thing what most people notice, and I think is most noticeable, is your V's and W's. They're the sort of things that I'd say people will notice far more than anything else. But don't beat yourself up about not getting it quite right on all the calls, because I don't, and I live there, yeah? You may find that if people have been waiting a long time to get through on the telephone, they're already a bit frustrated, and if they happen to be people who have never spoken to anyone apart from an English person before on the telephone, you know, they may already been a bit wound up, and you may get the brunt of that, unfortunately. But
Now, not being funny, but that's quite a nice drop there, if you don't mind me saying so. That's not bad, really.
Neil's been with the company for almost 2 years, and he reckons he's sussed out the best way of dealing with difficult customers.
Tell me about the worst call you had.
I got a call in, I answered it, and it was the most horrible bloke I'd ever spoke to. On my first call, I was nervous anyway, and the guy was so rude, it was unbelievable. And I had to sit there and be really polite to him as well. I found that it was a lot to do with the confidence in your voice and stuff.
That's right.
And if you come across as, look, don't take that tone of voice with me, sir, I understand, but at the end of the day, if you don't want to talk to me about it, I'm not going to sit here and just take random abuse from you because you need a whipping boy. And you say to him, look, I can sort this out in a civilised manner, or you know, I'm essentially going to not talk to you, so.
Linda's keen to find out how the advisors here in India deal with problematic punters.
Good morning, Norwich Union Direct. Can I take a note of your postal number, please?
Yes, but don't put me through to India, will you?
Okay, that's okay.
I don't want to be put through to India.
All right, no problem. I'll not put you through India.
I think that's a blooming cheek. Put me through to India.
All right.
It takes about half an hour to answer the phone anyway. So where are you? Are you in England or are you in India?
All right. At present, your call is landed in Bangalore. Could I have your date of birth and postcode, please?
I've given you the postcode once. Christ almighty. Now, as all this has happened when he's dealing with regulations, he's going to say you haven't sent the bloody documents yet. You must be bloody lunatics. Do you understand English in your place?
Yes, I do.
Thank Christ I don't have a lot to do with Asian people. They should never been out in the country.
I wouldn't expect my advisors to be spoken to in that manner. I mean, I'm completely amazed that people will just sit there and take it like that. We don't want any of our advisors to speak rudely to customers, but sometimes, you know, you have to defend yourself a little bit, and that don't seem as though these guys are equipped to defend themselves. And perhaps that's something that, you know, we perhaps need to try and teach these guys over here.
You find that if you come across like that, professional and confident, that, you know, it ruins their confidence, and they seem to like, oh, you know, I am sorry, I don't mean to take it out on you, it's not your fault. And chances are, obviously, you know, it's nothing to do with you. It's they want to shout at somebody else. It could be anything that's gone on in their life, and you just happen to be the person that phones them that day and cops it in the face.
A trip out to India wouldn't be complete without a curry, but this won't be your regular chicken tikka masala joint.
There's nowhere like this in Norwich. There's not. I don't think I've ever been to a place like this.
How you like the food?
It's lovely.
Yeah. You tried this?
Yeah, a little bit different to scampi and chips. The most amazing thing I've seen are cows walking around the street. Cows walk around India like cats do in Norwich.
I was like kind of missing the beef burgers. Every time I saw a cow, I would go, burger, burger.
Is this isn't the place you'd come to pick up a girl, is it?
Depends on what type of girl you're looking for. Belly dancers, male belly dancers.
Wow. Would you just go over and...
Bad luck.
I was told, like, no little tops, you got to be covered up. But it's not like that at all, is it?
And why didn't you wear that, Linda?
Because I didn't think you could.
Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness.
So I see little tops, but I don't see many little skirts.
Little skirts are there.
They're there.
They are there.
You know it's there.
Yeah, they're there.
You look for them.
You do look for them.
They're there.
Fantastic.
You know, people ask questions like, do you guys have school there? Of course we have school there. I mean, do you guys have a lot of them? I said, yeah, we have a lot of them. How do you come to work? Do you come on an elephant?
What we do now is we're going to change the tyres. It's so easy.
You can't see.
In Norwich, Ajitesh gets a hands-on lesson on what it feels like to be a customer in distress.
Tesh, where are you? You have a... Okay, cracking this off. Go on, son. Do you have a car in India? No, I don't. You don't? So you've never actually had to change a tyre? No, actually, no.
This is the elaborate exercise the company performs to encourage the advisors to sell more of their lucrative rescue policies.
Imagine having children with you. People die on the side of the roads changing tyres. Yeah, because they're there in the fog, traffic going past, can easily just whip you off the side of the road. How much happier are you going to be seeing that coming towards you, though? That will make you happy.
Not only does Ajitesh not own a car, but it's the first time he's seen a rescue vehicle.
Shall we say, to keep it diplomatic. And one of the things we do, or what I do, is go through and tell you what we've got on the van. Obviously, one of the first things you can see is a big red toolbox. Without that, I'll be fairly stuffed.
If there's a problem, I'll have your phone number 99% of the time on the MDT, which is the thing in the van, which is the mobile data transmission unit.
Do you have breakdown in India?
No.
You don't have it on your cars out there? No. It's harder to actually understand what people really need it for. Do you know what I mean? If you don't live it, it's harder to sell it, isn't it?
Right.
Do you not think?
Maybe.
I can't imagine trying to sell something that I've never experienced before.
Okay, so what we've done first of all is we've just seen the product and hopefully we've all felt an emotion of what it's like to be outside. It's a bit cold. Yeah, change of tyres not as easy as we all thought it was. And we met Darren, so we have seen the product and we've seen the people doing it.
What's the most everyone else has just quickly said?
It's time to compare rescue sales figures. So do these fancy hands-on lessons pay off?
I had on 36 before.
36?
Oh, that's good.
20, 25. All right then. Tesh, over to you.
Basically, 75 sales a month.
That's awesome. 75 policies in a month.
That's pretty awesome, man.
You can have my job at that rate.
I was very proud, actually, you know, being an Indian, coming here and, you know, getting recognized as, you know, highest, making highest sales in rescue. It makes me proud. But at the same time, I mean, these guys are multi-skilled and they are into a lot of products. We are just selling motor and rescue. These guys are selling travel insurance and things like that. So I think when you take that into consideration, then you know, it's no big deal.
In Bangalore, it's now 2 a.m. and calls from British customers are coming in thick and fast.
You must have held your licence, including provisional licence, over 20 years, Mr. Brown, as yet?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't remember how long ago it was. It must be over 50 years anyway since I passed my driving test.
Linda's keen to hear some Indian sales spiel.
Could have your surname. I'm looking forward to help you today.
Yeah.
What's your surname?
Hussein.
Okay, like Nasser Hussain, the former English captain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what would be your first name?
Shakur, S-H-A-K-R-R.
Okay, like in Shakur Rana, the former Pakistani umpire.
Yeah.
You have a name which is related to a couple of famous celebrities. Not everyone is lucky to be like that.
Chris, quite obviously, has got so much confidence that he could see that the customer is obviously a little bit open to a bit of a joke. You actually can build rapport on just having a bit of a laugh. And he did. He did that with that customer really well. You're obviously a good seller, aren't you? You do well. Have you won any? Have you won any of the prizes?
I won a travel bag, Nike travel bag.
Right. Would you like to win the washing machine?
Of course I am.
Really? Have you got a washing machine at home?
Right now, no. Looking forward to get one.
Have you got any tracking device, Mr. Brown, on your car? Tracking device. Tracking if your car is lost, to find the car from a satellite navigator?
Oh, no.
While the Indian advisors are busy on calls, it's only 9 p.m. in Norwich, and the lads are out to show Ajitesh what they get up to in the evenings. There's 24 cans of lager at stake, and 3 teams from Norwich Union to battle it out.
Contain your excitement, please. Question number 1, nice easy one to start. One for all you computer buffs. What do the letters RAM stand for?
Did you hear that? Random access memory.
At which sport do England and Scotland compete for the Calcutta Cup?
Is it curling?
Question number 8. In which year did India gain independence? Anyone want to...
He cheated! He doesn't know what the questions are, but he's got the answers on his arm.
It couldn't have been that she actually hung up on you, and I'm really sorry if one of them did hang up, but let's see how we can sort it out.
Glynis was absolutely amazing.
Don't worry, we'll get this sorted out now.
Yeah.
Now, this car, the XMD, it's...
Instead of harping on about the mistake, she moved forward and she took the customer with her.
Does it not sound good?
Yeah, that's brilliant.
It is, yeah. Would you like me to coach you now for breakdance service? We normally recommend you have one. You never know these days when you turn actually unlucky.
She can communicate really, really effective for me, and the way she helped that lady out, fantastic. You can come and work in Norwich if you want.
Oh, that's splendid.
Tell me, where did you get your accent from?
It's actually very funny, okay? If someone talks to me in a kind of accent, I tend to reply in an accent. The first thing they ask me, you've got a Welsh name, but how come you sound Irish or Scottish? They think most of the time I sound Irish or Scottish. I say, no, I'm neither Welsh nor Scottish nor Irish, I'm an Indian. It's like, oh, you're an Indian? I'm like, yeah, I'm an Indian. So they ask, whereabouts in the UK are you? So I was like, no, I'm in India.
Really?
With which company are you insured at the moment?
I'm not going to tell you.
Everyone comes in, sits down, gets on the phone and does the job. They're not interested in talking to the person next door, and when they get at their desk they are completely focused on what they're doing, which is a really, really good thing, and something that actually is perhaps there's more focus on the customer than what we perhaps do back in my call centre.
Question number 4. At which sport do England and Scotland compete for the Calcutta Cup? It's rugby union.
Oh, harsh.
Rugby union. Rugby, go on.
Yeah!
Now in 11th place with 26 points, we have Stephen Hawking's wheelchair.
Let's just say we're comfortable.
Now in 3rd place and leading for a long time, Dave Does Dallas.
We did good. 3rd place.
We didn't cheat.
We didn't cheat. Well done.
We played pretty fucking good.
In Bangalore, families have been invited in for a Parents' Day, an idea that would make most UK workers break out in a cold sweat of school days déjà vu. And if there are any doubts that working in a call centre is a good career move for graduates, now's the time for management to pull out their full sales patter.
This is where my team sits, Tata, and I have some of them on breaks. And this is Deepak, my top sales guy. This is my granddad. I mean, we're the #1 in the UK.
Definitely.
Basically, we want to show them how important each one person working here in this place is. But it's just to tell them that it's not just a call center. It's one big family here.
You can listen to the next call. This is what I do all day long. This is my job.
I was interested in seeing how she's working, because when she comes back home, she says, my head is paining, Mama. I said, can I rub it down for you? No, it's because of the gadget that's on my head.
What's it like to be working in the call centre? Do your parents mind?
We work in the night shifts, and according to the Indian culture, you know, a girl working in the night, it's an absurd meaning they have.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is. It's very difficult, and especially, you know, the cabs come to pick you up at odd times. You return at like 3, 4 in the morning, and they're like, where's this girl been all night long?
Do your neighbours think that's a
initially
that's a dodgy
it's
job you're doing?
And especially, you know, with the name, we have the call centre. They think, okay, is she a call girl? That's
really?
what comes into their
call
mind.
Girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the impression they have about our call center. Because we work in night shifts, and according to our culture, that's not right. So, because according to our culture, what they would like is probably a girl finishing her degree or graduation and then immediately getting married.
Really?
In Norwich, it's Ajitesh's last shift and the fun has really been stepped up. It's not enough for just the staff to join in. The customers get roped in too.
Right, firstly guys, I want to thank you all for coming in your PJs. Everyone's looking very sexy. As we're on our late shift, and I thought what we could do in our calls is to maybe try and fit some fun sort of phrase or some words into some of our calls this evening. Yeah. Can anyone think of like an expression or a phrase?
Try and put that in the call.
Sorry?
Flying bananas.
Flying bananas.
I'd like to see someone put that in.
All right, well, you have to get all 3 of these words into the call. Once you do that, you can get up and start the Connect 4 game, and it's the first team to obviously win the Connect 4 game.
Guys not on calls can look this side. We're conducting the raffles for customer experience and sales. I have with me a distinguished guest.
As a VIP from Norwich, Linda's been asked to take part in the quarterly prize giving.
I'd like to invite her, Linda.
Distinguished. Very nice.
And I request her to give...
didn't say extinguished.
Let's have a real push for sales this evening, so I'm sure with the words and stuff should help you with the customers, and they'll love you that much more that they'll want to take something out from you.
Find us that much more weird.
Yeah.
It's okay, those of you on calls can continue. Those of you who are not, this side.
For the Indian advisors, more sales means more tickets in the box and more chances of winning a prize. Linda's been honoured with the grand task of choosing the winner for the washing machine.
Can you read it? The executive is Praveen VB. You just won a washing machine.
Well done.
Thank you so much.
That's all right. You're more than welcome.
Robin, well done.
Have you got a washing machine?
No.
You haven't.
I'm staying alone.
Oh, right handy. Well done.
Was that F for flying bananas?
No, B for David.
Yep.
G for George.
Okay, what you've got to do, mate, is you've got to fit in flying bananas, yellow hot pants and crazy horses in one call.
Okay.
If you do that, what you do is you can grab a green ring from over there and you pop it in the Connect 4 thing down there.
Okay.
So the game we play? Yeah.
We're very laid back here, but obviously for India it's quite a new thing for them, the call centre and everything anyway. So I should imagine they're concentrating more on the lines of work as opposed to having fun. They've got to work a lot harder than we have.
Those crazy horses on your car.
What is that?
Yeah? Do you have one of those yellow hot pants?
Yellow.
Hot pants.
Huh.
They are a bit random, really, a bit like your old flying bananas and yellow hot pants, so they're quite random.
With the buzzwords in the calls, the guys love it because they like to have a laugh. When they're on the phone, they need to build a rapport with the customer, which makes the customer feel comfortable. The customers seem to find it quite funny. I don't think they're ever offended by it. We wouldn't do anything offensive.
Well, our systems have yellow hot pants, so they work better than other companies. So,
You want more beer, yeah?
yes.
I don't know if you can hear me or not. Can you hear me? Yeah? You're fantastic on the phones. You're doing really, really well. Well done. And if you keep working that hard, you'll soon be as good as Norwich.
I got all three twice. I don't know if you caught them. Oh no, hang on. Winner.
Oh God, why didn't we think of that?
Thank you all for being part of this raffle ceremony, and bye-bye. Go back to your calls. Bye.
You know, I've done wild things in my life and weird things in my life. My experience today in this office, it's just, I just have no, particular words to define it. I have never ever thought that, I'll wear my pajamas to office. No way.
Whether it's a UK or Indian call centre, there are some calls that advisors are reluctant to talk about, and where the call itself is illegal.
Oh, suck it hard about it.
I'm sorry, if you could refrain from your profanity, I'd be fine, or else I'd be forced to disconnect the call.
I'm very sorry.
Transmission is manual or automatic?
Manual driving.
Engine size, please.
1.6. Put back on my clock, darling. That's a good girl.
You feel bad when he talks something like that. You really feel bad, but I can't take my emotions to that because I would be affecting the next customer. So once I take that call, maybe I have to take a break or just forget about the call and take another call.
Could I just ask you something?
Certainly.
Would you take your panties off for me so I can have sex with you?
Pardon me?
Would you take your panties down so I can put it inside you? Please.
If you're calling in for insurance quotation, I can help you. And if you do talk to me this way, I unfortunately have to disconnect the call.
Please don't do that. I just want to come in your mouth.
It's almost 5 to 6 months that he calls every day. This is my first job. I could never even imagine that somebody could just call up like this and talk to me this way. It's very, the first call when I did take this first call, it was very surprised. I was like, my God, something like this can happen.
Kevin DaCosta is Linda's equivalent in Bangalore. He's the senior manager in charge of sales. If his advisors are hanging up on customers, he wants to know.
What we usually encourage our people to do is warn the customer once, twice and thrice, and then tell him that I am going to cut this call. If one of my agents wants to cut a call because it's an obscene call, I wouldn't stop him or her from doing it, but then we would like to get an explanation from them because we don't want that to become a habit. We don't want to lose that business if the customer is a potential customer and he's just a little hanky-panky because it's landed into India. We give them the opportunity, and we want to portray that, we are also professionals here.
In Linda's call centre, they also have a problem with obscene calls, and this voice is sadly all too familiar.
It's definitely the same bloke. There's always the possibility that now he knows that the Indian girls aren't as quick to catch on to what he's doing, that he'll actually call hoping to get an Indian girl, because the UK girls wouldn't give him that time. He's definitely using more vulgar language than he uses to the UK girls. I would imagine he realises perhaps he can get away with it a bit more.
Norwich Union have handed over the recordings of these obscene calls to the police in the UK, who are now trying to track the caller down. Linda, a Norwich girl through and through, arrived in India a week ago. Despite Norwich Union giving India its seal of approval, Linda came expecting the worst from the country.
This trip has completely opened my eyes about India. I've been really surprised at how much money perhaps there is in Bangalore. But then there's the other side, the real extremes. Both women and men are so friendly. They're very respectful. The men aren't touchy and feely, which is what I expected.
For Ajitesh, coming to Norwich was definitely a trip of a lifetime, but he wasn't expecting a welcome reception.
At the beginning, I thought people in this call center would be, negative. There is a strong feeling of job being outsourced to India. I might have, eyes pointing at me and saying, hey, look, what are you doing here? But to my surprise, that was not the case. I never expected to come to work wearing a 70s outfit like Michael Jackson. I never, dreamed of coming to office wearing my pajamas. But overall, I had fun working in this call center, working with these guys here. It's a totally different experience, and I loved it.
I don't think the general public in the UK realise how hard these guys work. I don't think they realise how hard they try, the way they adjust their whole personal lives in order to work here. If they did, they'd perhaps be less harsh to them on the phones, because these guys get a lot more grief from customers than the people do in the UK.